Lately, farmers in the area have been crying out in despair. Herds of wild boars have ravaged cornfields and sugarcane plantations. Crops trampled, land destroyed, months of hard labor reduced to nothing. Worse still, they raid barns in groups, causing heavy losses of livestock and poultry. Faced with this, our entire team decided to head out on a major hunt to stop these beasts. Fully prepared, from weapons to vehicles to hunting dogs, we set out toward the hot spot, the very place where wild boars are most often seen. With tight teamwork, will today's expedition bring the results we expect? Let's find out right now. The team chose to begin on the rugged slopes, steep terrain, dense vegetation, and treacherous rock crevices. This has long been a hot spot where wild boars forage and hide from humans. Everyone was on edge because at any moment those dark shadows could charge out and attack the team. From above, we spotted a target rustling in the thick brush. It was busy digging, completely unaware of the cold eyes of hunters watching. The distance was far, but that meant nothing to our captain, renowned for his sharpshooting skills. One shot rang out, and the beast collapsed instantly. A masterful strike from a seasoned marksman. What do you think of that shot? Leave a comment and let us know. At the same time, two shadows darted past my position like arrows, startled by the opening shot. They were clearly trying to escape. I raised my rifle, aiming for the largest of the herd. The first shot grazed its shoulder, sending it into a frenzy. Without hesitation, I squeezed the trigger again. This time, the bullet hit clean. The beast stumbled, skidding down the hillside before collapsing in seconds. The other bolted straight into the woods in panic. But the threat was neutralized. The crops behind us were safe. Determined not to lose it, I quickly changed position, tracking the fresh trail on the ground. There it was, bursting out from a large bush ahead. The animal paused, as if scouting the area. My heart raced in sync with its every move. Without wasting the golden chance, I aimed steady and fired. One single, decisive shot. The cunning prey dropped instantly, lifeless on the spot. Once again proving, in hunting, accuracy is what separates success from failure. With the hillside cleared, we pushed deeper into the dense forest ahead. This was the perfect hideout for wild boar herds, and the ultimate test of a hunter's patience and resolve. Barely 10 minutes into the forest, the hunting dogs erupted in furious barks, shattering the silence. We sprinted forward, and there was a massive beast charging madly, crashing through the undergrowth in a desperate escape. I raised my rifle, aimed true. A single shot, bullet slicing the air, struck straight at a vital point. The animal toppled forward, rolling across the dry leaves before lying still. A perfect shot closed out a flawless team maneuver. Meanwhile, elsewhere, my teammate John had another target locked in. Every stride of the beast was tracked meticulously. He waited for the right moment, then bang! The bullet cut across the forest with pinpoint precision. No luck for the prey. It fell instantly, leaving behind a forest that quickly returned to silence, peace restored for the farmers. Exhausted after hours of pursuit, we were retreating, thinking the hunt was over. But suddenly, right before us, a boar dashed across our path as if issuing one last challenge. No hesitation. I raised my rifle, steadied my eyes. Bang! The thunderous shot echoed across the hillside. The beast collapsed, utterly defeated. At the end of today's hunt, we had successfully brought down multiple targets, eliminating the threat to local farmers. Everything was done strictly under hunting regulations and safety protocols. This was not only a tough expedition, but also a testament to the team's flawless coordination at every decisive moment. We're grateful for the support of the local people and authorities who made it possible for us to complete our mission. If you found today's hunt thrilling, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications for the next adventures. And you, what scene impressed you the most in today's video? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Recently, a ferocious herd of wild boars has appeared right in residential areas, causing chaos and endangering the safety of the people. They are aggressive and destructive, rampaging through properties and even attacking humans. This situation cannot continue, so a team of professional hunters has taken action. Can we stop these wild beasts in time? Watch now to witness this intense confrontation. Wild boars are formidable creatures with high adaptability and a strong survival instinct. When their numbers grow uncontrollably, they spill onto streets, penetrate deep into residential areas, and create numerous threats. Not only do they destroy crops and ravage farmland, causing heavy losses to farmers, but they also attack livestock and even threaten human lives. The situation not only disrupts daily life, but also poses a major challenge in controlling and managing these wild animals. In the dead of night, we set out, weapons in hand, determined to eliminate this threat. In a nearby field, the wild boar herd roamed freely, digging up the soil in search of food, completely unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. Waiting for the perfect moment, locked onto our targets, and pulled the trigger. Panic erupted among the herd as they scattered in all directions. One by one, they fell under a relentless barrage of gunfire. This high-stakes pursuit demanded precision and skill, showcasing our expertise in hunting. This was not just a battle for survival, but a mission to restore peace and safety for the community. Night hunting for wild boars is an extreme challenge. The lack of light limits visibility, but we have the advantage of infrared scopes and thermal imaging. Most importantly, precision shooting is crucial. A well-placed shot can take down the target instantly, but a single mistake could turn us from hunters into the hunted in the dangerous darkness. Wild boars possess an incredibly sharp sense of smell. Just a faint scent of us carried by the wind boars could send the entire herd into a frenzy. That's why we must maintain absolute silence and position ourselves downwind to avoid detection. Nighttime is when wild boars are most active, roaming in herds to devastate farmlands. Although their night vision is not the best, they navigate skillfully using their acute sense of smell and exceptional hearing. Even the slightest sound or an unfamiliar scent can put them on high alert. Moving in groups also helps them stay oriented and protect one another. But tonight, luck is not on their side. We locked our sights onto our targets and pulled the trigger, taking down these destructive creatures without hesitation. As dawn broke, we left the residential area and ventured deep into the vast hills. This was the true stronghold of the wild boars, where they thrive and multiply rapidly. We scanned the landscape. And then, there it was, a massive, muscular wild boar leisurely making its way down the hill. The tension in the air was palpable. I squeezed the trigger without hesitation. Gunfire echoed through the hills, breaking the silence. Our persistence and determination finally paid off, bringing us a well-earned victory. Wild boars may outrun hunting dogs, but against seasoned hunters like us, they stand no chance. They sprinted at full speed, desperately trying to escape. But unfortunately for them, we had anticipated their every move. The hunt has come to an end, and the invading wild boar herd has finally been contained. However, the threat of wild boars is far from over. More hunts will inevitably follow. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunts ahead.
The quiet countryside of South Alabama has been haunted by gunfire in recent years. It's farmers chasing wild hogs away from their farms and keeping their numbers in check. They destroy crops, ravage fields, chew up irrigation systems, and sometimes even attack livestock. Many times, standing amid the mounds of earth that have been dug up, rows of corn that have collapsed as if they've been crushed by a tractor, I felt a bitterness that chokes me to the core. I knew that if we didn't take action, the wild boars would cost us everything we owned. So I and the farmers in the area formed a wild boar hunting team and hunted wild boars every week. Today, like the previous hunts, we gathered at the edge of the forest. We split into groups and patrolled in different directions. Accompanying me were Rick and Clayton, my close friends and quite experienced in hunting wild boar. Suddenly, we heard a rustling sound. A big fat wild boar appeared. The wild boar seemed to feel no danger. It slowly walked and wallowed in the puddle. I held my breath, aiming and hitting its vulnerable spot. A loud explosion rang out, as if tearing the silence of the forest apart. The wild boar collapsed instantly. The sound of dogs barking echoed in the bushes. We knew that something was coming. Oh my God, be careful. Rick quickly raised his gun and fired. We were still shaking, our hearts pounding like drums, because this crazy boar almost attacked us. Wild boars are very aggressive. They can attack hunters if they feel dangerous. Therefore, we need to keep a safe distance to avoid being attacked by them. The safe distance to shoot wild boars should be applied at over 100 meters if at close range. We also need to have quick reflexes to deal with wild boars in all situations. At noon, while we were resting, we heard a series of strange noises coming from the east. As we focused our attention, a wild boar appeared behind a mound of earth. Rick gave the signal to shoot, and we quickly raised our guns. After a few gunshots, the wild boar was completely defeated. After harvesting the wild pigs, we continued moving deeper into the mountains. The canyons in Alabama have a higher density of trees, creating favorable conditions for wild pigs to breed and thrive. In the deep mountains of Alabama, the sound of owls and frogs creates a strange harmony and natural atmosphere of the wilderness that you cannot feel in the city. The hunting dogs are still constantly searching for wild boar shelters. From the drone, we can observe the location and number of a herd of wild boars. The wild boars were exhausted from being chased by hunting dogs, so we aimed at tricky positions and successfully took down quite a few wild boars. In the afternoon, we moved to the cattle pasture and prepared to finish the hunt. Clayton suggested setting up an ambush there to see if we could catch any more wild boars. After only about 30 minutes of searching, we discovered large wild boars running across the field. Wild boars love to dig up the soil in areas where cattle are grazing. Their digging activities also inadvertently reduce the grazing area for cattle, causing damage to farmers like us. So, exterminating wild boars is the most feasible measure we need to take. It may be a long battle, but we will fight to the end to protect our crops. today's video ends here. How do you feel today? Please comment below to let us know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. The terrain is the decisive factor in the intensity of each hunting trip. Today, I'll take you to 3 vastly different landscapes: vast plains, treacherous cliffs, and snow-covered hills. Each terrain poses a unique challenge. Thick snow hinders movement, open plains leave you exposed, and a single misstep on the cliffs could cost you your life. Yet it's in these very places that the tracks of wild boars are most distinct. They ravage fields, destroy forests, and instill fear in the surrounding communities. Our shots enough to subdue these stubborn prey amidst nature's challenges? Join me as we embark on this journey. Kicking off the journey. Join me as we head to the plains of Kansas, USA. We've prepared everything for this hunting trip and are hopeful for a successful outcome. After an hour's drive, we arrived at the ideal hunting ground, a vast grassland with no cover for those pesky wild boars. The hunting dogs were released to track the boars' trails. The dogs were chasing a group of wild boars, driving them straight toward us. It charged right past us, and I immediately fired, taking down one boar, while my teammate simultaneously dropped the other. A promising start to today's hunt. Leaving the plains behind, we continued our journey to a harsher terrain, the steep cliffs of the American West. The rugged landscape demanded meticulous preparation. Safety ropes, binoculars, and high-precision sniper rifles for long-range accuracy. Clinging to the rocky edge tops, I spotted a target moving through a narrow crevice. Swiftly adjusting my scope, I pulled the trigger. The single bullet hit its mark, and the beast tumbled down, motionless among the cliffs. parting the treacherous cliffs. Join us as we venture into the snow-covered hills of the northern United States, a frigid, silent landscape brimming with hidden dangers. Thick snow, biting winds, and slippery terrain demanded specialized gear. Anti-slip boots, thermal clothing, and cold-resistant scopes. Not long after moving out, we spotted a massive wild charging like a whirlwind. I quickly took aim and fired. The beast collapsed, completely subdued. The gunshot startled another stray boar, causing it to panic and scramble for an escape route. I signaled for silence, quietly raised my rifle locked onto the target, and pulled the trigger. The bullet struck its shoulder, dropping the prey instantly. Everything fell silent. Having conquered 3 challenging terrains from vast plains to treacherous cliffs and freezing snowy hills, which hunting trip thrilled you the most? All were conducted in full compliance with local hunting regulations. If you love adventures like these, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any upcoming hunts.